Over the weekend, cryptocurrency markets trembled and began descending quickly into the bowels of Hades, driven by the spillover reaction from traditional markets over a potential trade war between Canada, Mexico, China, and the United States. Donald Trump coming out strongly and slapping 25% tariffs on both Mexico and Canada for their role in fentanyl distribution in the United States, and an additional 10% tariff on China because, China bad. Ladies and gentlemen, over the weekend, because of all this, winter mute conspiracy theories abounded across crypto Twitter, with many taking to their keyboards to pile on to this theory that the markets were being manipulated down by the evil market makers. Spoiler warning, they weren't. That never happens. It's not reality. You just suck at trading. All of this combined to absolutely dump the crypto markets down, resulting in the worst liquidation cascade in crypto's history. Approximately 10 billion, that's Billy with a B, dollars in liquidations rolled across the crypto markets last night, making this, by all accounts, the single worst day of losses for cryptocurrency traders and investors in history. However, in the depths of this madness, a shining light of hope appeared. This morning, news broke that Mexican President Claudia Sheinbaum and Trump had reached an agreement, and that tariffs would be suspended for 1 month as Mexico rallies National Guard troops to its northern border. In addition, Trump confirmed that he had spoken with Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau. They're actually slated to speak again today at 3 p.m. So hope is ringing loudly for the selling to stop, for February to please, for the love of God, be the month of pump that we so desperately want, that we so desperately need. Ladies and gentlemen, the bears are out of the bag and they are pillaging the thatched roof cottages of the crypto natives, while the bulls have temporarily stepped in to offer some relief over the last 8 hours. Will this recovery last, or will the bears break free of their containment and run rampant across the markets again? Find out all this and more in today's exciting episode of Breaking Bitcoin. Ladies and gentlemen, how are we doing? Welcome back to another crypto market update / breaking Bitcoin. It's all good. East side, west side, it don't matter. I have no idea where my chat went. There it is. I have some of the chat. Here we go. Shout outs to all my early chatters. I see you guys in here. I see Peckham, Prophet Bear, M3TZ1234. Good to see you guys. Hopefully you're doing absolutely fantastic. We've got a great show for you guys today. Today is, of course, Monday. Happy Monday, February 3rd, 2025. Foul year of our Lord. It is, the last, oh my goodness. If you're here and you're alive, let's go. Let's just get this. Yeah, I know the door's open. I like it a little bit better. Whew. New setup. Bear with me. As with all things are a work in progress. We got some buying the dip. People are buying the dip. It's good. Dip buying is good. I bought the dip a little bit. You know what I mean? Bought the dip, and then I bought the dip at the dip, and then I bought the dip at the dip at the dip, and then, some people are probably going to buy the dip at the dippity dip dip dip, and that's just how it seems to go sometimes. But listen, ladies and gentlemen, while the markets have been absolutely decimated, it's the buy and holders, it's the believers, all right? These are the individuals that don't tend to make that much money at the end of the day in crypto. If you do get a big win, it's because you're lucky, all right? So if you've been devastated over the last 24 to 48 hours, because it has been a brutal week, please let this be the moment. Let this be the time. Let this be the event where you're like, all right, listen, I am tired of placing my financial faith and future in this amorphous idea of a potential bull market. I'm not saying it's not going to come. February might be a great month. We might just absolutely rip from here. But placing your financial future leaving it up to chance is not responsible. All right. You can either hope to be lucky or you can strive to be good. You can be disciplined. You can work harder to be good every single day. And that is the difference between a trader and a buy and holder. All right. And again, I've been there. I've been on both sides of the aisle, and I really like being over here as a trader. Listen, nobody wanted to hear it. I didn't even want to hear it, right? Like, I understand. I'm in the same place as you guys. Mentally, for the last week, my mind has been like, buy the dip, buy the dip. I took a trade on Bitcoin on Saturday or Sunday morning. I bought it like 100,000 and I set a stop loss at 99,000. And obviously that didn't work out. We absolutely plummeted, right? But that was limited risk, 2% risk in and out. And then I was able to reestablish. Meanwhile, the vast majority of my portfolio is in cash because that's what my strategy told me to do. I thought my strategy was wrong. This entire week, I've been feeling very bullish, wanting to buy the dip, right? But my strategy told me to short. Nobody wanted to hear that. You guys didn't want to hear that when I showed you throughout all of last week that we were bearish. That we got a short, so we got a short signal, price dipped a little bit, and then went up for a couple days. We were up to 105. It was like, oh, we're breaking out, and now look where we're at. The time is always today to stop gambling, to stop hoping, to stop wishing, to stop putting your financial future into something that's not going to come, man. I'm not saying the bull market's not going to come. I'm just saying that your sustained success because of a bull market is very fleeting. It's amorphous. It's not real. You're not going to extract value from the market consistently if you don't have a system, if you don't have a strategy. If you want to do meme coin trading, that's fine. The 1% of people are making money trading meme coins. The 99% of people are losing money. And the only thing that differentiates the two is a strategy. That's it. That's it. Okay. I cannot tell you how many individuals I've met over the years that have made it big, made, 6 figures, 7 figures, even 8 figures. All right. Very close friend of mine did very, very good in 2021 and then gambled it all away. Right? Gamble it all away. So let today be the day you commit to making a strategy. It doesn't matter. Links down in the description. I don't care what you do. I don't care if you learn it from me. I don't care if you learn it from somebody else. I don't care if you learn it for free. I don't care if you pay for it. I just want you guys to trade with a strategy and have better financial future. So let's start off. A little bit of programming before we begin. We, of course, do this show every single weekday from noon to 2 Central Standard Time, safe here in the middle of the United States, far from the East, far from the West. But that is, of course, 1 to 3 if you're on the Eastern Seaboard, 10 to 12 if you're in California or any of those other Western states. If you want to support what we're doing, this is absolutely free. Of course, we do roll ads every once in a while. It is what it is. But if you want to support what we're doing, please like this video. It helps out more than you could possibly imagine. And subscribe so you do not miss a daily update. Plus, we put out shorts, all kinds of other stuff. Cool. Subscribe to the Daily Alpha Report, the Crypto Alpha Report, data-driven research delivered to your inbox to keep you armed and dangerous in these turbulent markets. Free link to subscribe for that is down below. Later on in today's show, we are, of course, going to be giving away 1 billion Jesus coin. Once again, getting the marbles running. You've never seen anything like it. It is the greatest giveaway on God's green earth. So don't go anywhere for that. Or wait, make sure you watch till the end of the show so that you don't miss that. But we're going to start off today's show with obviously talking about this conspiracy theory that we've seen that I saw over the weekend with regards to market makers and cryptocurrency. A lot of threads that I read over the weekend talking about how, oh man, the market is being manipulated down by Wintermute. Oh my God, look, Binance and Coinbase are sending Bitcoin and Ethereum to Wintermute again. These evil, despicable rapscallions keep pushing the markets down. They're hunting my stop losses. Oh, they're shorting the AI agent sector. All like literally all of these. There is a relatively large account that goes by the handle of Retardio. And he's posting that he's a former Wintermute employee and this is a common strategy, and he would paint all of these charts. And he's got quite a big following. But then almost very shortly after he posted this thread, or excuse me, not Wintermute, he said he was jump trading. Pretty shortly after, and he's saying like, oh, Jump Capital is like manipulating the markets down. But shortly after he posted this, like real actual employees of Jump Capital came out and called him out, and he wasn't able to substantiate his claims of actually having worked at Jump Capital. And a lot of, I would say, apologetic threads came out over the weekend from actual market makers and people who work at firms. And they're like, listen, guys, this isn't how any of this works. You guys just don't understand basic market mechanics. And I've been a little bit active, like, posting about it. So I want to take a little bit of time to explain to you why, how we're going to start off with how do market makers actually work in cryptocurrency? What do they do? How do they make money? And why they are not the reason you're losing money. They're not the reason the market's going down. They're not the reason you're getting stopped out. They're not the reason you're losing money. The reason you're losing money is because whatever you're doing isn't well attuned to current market conditions. That's it. Period. Take responsibility for your own life. It's nobody's fault but your own. You're the one pressing the buttons. So let's talk about how market makers work in crypto. So the primary function of a market maker in whether it's crypto, whether it's in stocks, Doesn't matter. It is to provide liquidity. All right. They place both buy and sell orders. They're playing both sides of the order book, buy orders and sell orders. They are filling them, right? They are setting limit orders. They are those are called maker strategies. They're market makers. So if you go to the exchange, you know that if you place a limit order, you generally pay a lower maker fee, or in some cases, it used to be all over the place, but on perps, you'd actually get paid a taker fee. All right. Nowadays, it's pretty much like you're paying a fee no matter what, right? Crypto's all popular. Everybody's trying to get in. The spreads have been crushed. But if you execute a market order, you're going to pay a significantly higher market fee. All right, because you're a taker fee, because you're taking liquidity, you're not providing liquidity. So market makers provide liquidity. They're market makers. They make their money on maker strategies, maker orders, limit orders. They do have some taker strategies, but generally that's always going to be arbitrage between different price points. So they place buy and sell orders, and what that does is it reduces the bid-ask spread. It reduces the distance between the lowest available ask, right? So the lowest price a seller is willing to sell, and the highest available bid, the highest price a willing buyer is willing to buy. They compress that. In crypto, it's usually anywhere from a 2% to a 10% range. They try to compress that volatility, or to compress that liquidity. And that makes it easier for traders, everybody, you, your mom, your grandma, your auntie, your uncle, anybody who wants to buy, Michael Saylor, me, it doesn't matter. Every trader, it makes them easier for traders to enter and exit positions with less slippage. All right, because the bid-ask spread has been compressed, and there's just more liquidity in the books to soak up aggressive orders. So taker orders. Right, market makers, 99.9% of the time, they do not use directional bets. They profit from spreads. They profit from that difference between the highest available bid and the lowest available ask. They make money on extremely small price differences. They're not in the business of predicting or causing market moves. Now, some prop traders, actually, I would say most prop traders do trade directionally in addition to their market making activities, but that's not what their function or role is as a market maker. All right. Typically, they're going to be using algorithms and high frequency trading 99.9% of the time. These are automated strategies that adjust the bid and the ask constantly based on whatever the market conditions are. And they operate across many different exchanges. So anytime you're seeing like large directional flow or large transfers between exchanges, that's almost always arbitrage. It's arbitraging price between different platforms, which is a good thing, because it helps keep prices consistent across all these different platforms. All right. So again, if you are kind of hip to making money on chain, then you will know that one of the best ways to make money is arbitraging price differences between on-chain prices and exchange prices. Okay. When you can find an opportunity like that, like for example, well, nothing really comes to my mind, but obviously Phantom back in the day, but you will find opportunities where you will see the on-chain price of something trading on a DEX at a certain USD price, and its price on a particular centralized exchange potentially significantly higher or lower. That is an arbitrage opportunity. So, I mean, that is literally free money. You buy it where it's cheaper and you go and sell it where it's more expensive. But the thing is, that's very competitive. You got to be very good at it, all right? That's trench warfare if you're out there looking for like brand new chains and all that kind of stuff, and the risk comes with that. But if you're trying to do that on more established things with volume and size, then you've got to be fast. And that's literally just the speed of your agent. So in addition, this idea that market makers hunt your stop loss, that these things are like liquidity grabs or stop loss hunts, it's not real. Okay, market makers like Wintermute, like Jump Capital, they have zero incentive to manipulate the markets down to hit your stop loss. They don't. They make money from volume and spreads. They don't make money from liquidating retail traders. The exchange may make money from liquidating retail traders, but that is not the fault of the market maker. The market maker is just facilitating the orders of whoever wants to push price down. So when prices crash, it's because a lot of people sold, right? It's not because the evil market maker, right? It's because people tend to act all at once, right? And that's why you get these very large candles. Also, in addition, there are thousands of market making bots and firms, and they're all operating simultaneously. And this basically makes the ability of any one firm to move the market significantly or go hunt your stops. It's not real, all right? It doesn't exist. And in reality, okay, let's talk about this idea of like hitting stops. Okay, so to manipulate the market down, okay, just to trigger your stop loss, think about what you mean when you say that. To move the market down, you've got to sell. All right. So that means they have to drive the market down by selling a very large volume, like a large amount at volume. Okay. That's very inefficient. It's going to be a lot of slippage for them, and they're likely going to be selling a lot of funds at a loss. It's just not, it's not very efficient. Okay. Generally, most crypto market makers are net long on crypto because they're not playing this cycle. They're playing decades, all right, or multi-year cycles. So most market makers hold crypto inventory, and they generally benefit when prices go up. All right. They work with exchanges. They work with token projects to ensure order book depth, not to crash the markets. It's literally their job. So for example, I want you to ask yourself this. When you go look at projects like the AI agent sector that is all the way down, okay, think about a lot of those projects are being made by market makers. So how much worse would the devastation be if those markets weren't actually being made? It would have just gone completely to zero. All right. Market makers react to market conditions. They don't control them. Price movements are driven, whether you want to believe it or not, by macro trends, liquidations, large scale buyer and seller activity, not individual market makers. All right. So at the end of the day, market makers are not the reason that you're losing money. If you're losing money because you're poor at using leverage and you're poor at risk management. Over leveraged positions, tight stop losses. That's what leads to liquidations, which is what the vast majority of people do. It's not market maker trickery. All right. Without market makers, spreads would be much wider, making it much more expensive to trade, and slippage would be much higher, making it much more expensive to trade. Volatility is driven by large players and market sentiment. So whales, institutions, macro events, those things move the market far more than market makers adjusting spreads. Let me tell you. So if you take anything away from this, I want you to take away that market makers are providers to the infrastructure of crypto markets. They're not market manipulators. Their goal is to facilitate trading, not to take directional bets against you. If you want to blame somebody, blame the exchange. If a trader is losing money, it's usually due to the broad market conditions that their strategy is not in sync with and their own trading decisions. It's not because of the market makers. All right. See, I got some disagreement in the chat. That's absolutely fine. This is just my 2 cents. You guys take it what you will, but I hope you guys take that away from it. Now, the last thing we're going to talk about before we get into the charts is we're going to talk about tariffs. All right. Because that's what's going on. All right. Now, obviously, listen, I am an armchair economist. All right. So take all of this with a little bit of grain of salt, but I'm going to try to give you guys a little bit of my 2 cents on this. Right. And, actually, I'm not really going to give you too much of my 2 cents. You can go follow me over on X for that. And I'm not, listen, here, I'll give you my 2 cents like right up front. Like as somebody who leans a little bit more libertarian, it's like very interesting that it feels like a lot of people on the right, like, you know, for the last year, we've been like cheaper groceries. And now like overnight, we're like, yeah, like, you know, more expensive groceries. That's worth it, man. You know, like cultural improvement. Like, it's fine. We can go down that path. I'm just saying it is what it is. All right. So tariffs, for those of you who don't know, I'm sure you do, but I'm just going to start off with this, right? So what is a tariff, right? Tariffs are taxes paid by a person inside the United States. All right. Person inside the United States might be a foreign owned company, might be an American citizen, a domestic producer, whatever. But it's, you know, it is a purchaser, is an importer located inside the United States. All right. There are lots of non-American companies doing business inside the United States, doing importation. But so it's not always, oh, well, that's like the Americans are paying, but it's paid on the inside. It's a tax imposed on a good coming into a country, which makes the good in one way, shape, or form more expensive. All right. Its purpose generally, historically, has been to protect domestic industry. Right. So putting increasing prices on foreign goods. The idea is that we'll encourage consumers to buy locally produced alternatives, right? So if we've got, you know, China clay pots coming in and we want to sell more clay pots and benefit the clay pot industry in the United States, we would put a tariff on the Chinese clay pots and people would likely buy the American made pots. All right. This is the explain like I'm 5 version. All right. They also generate government revenue because obviously that tariff money goes to the government, acts as a source of income. Downsides are, of course, they can lead to retaliation. Other countries might respond by imposing tariffs on our exports, which might impact American business. The United States has used tariffs in the past to good effect. Throughout the 19th and early 20th century, there was a lot of protectionism. The United States used tariffs to build our domestic industries like steel and manufacturing. And honestly, like some would call that the golden age of America. 1980s, there were trade disputes. Tariffs on Japanese electronics led to massive investments in U.S. auto manufacturing. In 2018 and 2019, Trump imposed his original tariffs on China, and some manufacturing returned to the United States, and it pressured China on trade issues. Of course, the tariffs, those particular tariffs, that's a little controversial, but Biden came in and undid a lot of things, but we'll ever talk about it. There have also been bad effects of tariffs. All right. So obviously, probably the most infamous is the Smoot-Hawley tariff in the 1930s. This was a major tariff on imports. This came at a period when we were going through the Great Depression, and it worsened the Great Depression so badly by reducing global trade and not allowing cheaper imports to come in and kind of help us out through a tough time. And in 2018, again, some tariffs did good from Trump, some did poorly. The ones that are considered poorly are obviously steel and aluminum tariffs. It did help U.S. producers, but it had spillover effects that increased costs for industries that rely on those materials, like car manufacturing and literally everything you could possibly imagine, every steel, bolt, nail, screw you could possibly imagine. So why do we want to go back to using tariffs again? So obviously, some are arguing that we don't even want to use tariffs again, that they're a negotiating tactic, which, if anything, this morning is kind of proved. But why, if we did want to go down this route, and of course, if you want some more, I would say, pro-tariff information, definitely go check out Anthony Pompliano. He's been very, very vocal on how good tariffs are going to be for the United States, and he makes some interesting points. So I definitely recommend, if you are in the camp that you think tariffs are just absolutely bad, definitely at least go read the dissenting opinion from him and see if that changes your mind. Why would Trump want to use tariffs again? Well, one, he wants to reduce our trade deficit. So he wants to make, and this is a good point, making the U.S. less reliant on foreign goods, particularly from China. This has a lot of domestic benefits. It also has a lot of national security implications. If we can't make our own goods and we get into some kind of foreign controversy, it is an issue. Bring back American manufacturing. All right. Again, we could talk about this all day, but there is a very strong belief, whether it's right or wrong, but there is a very strong belief among a lot of American citizens that there was this kind of, bygone day where the average person could have a high school degree and go get an entry-level job and afford a house and provide for a family, have a stay-at-home wife, raise his kids, all that kind of stuff, white picket fence, the American dream. And that literally just doesn't exist anymore. So if we can bring back the jobs, increase wages, hopefully that will come back. And then obviously, one thing he's been very vocal about is punishing other countries for quote-unquote unfair trade practices. So Trump claims that China and other nations manipulate their currency or subsidize their industries unfairly, which is just objectively true, and then raise revenue without raising taxes. Tariffs bring in money without directly taxing U.S. citizens. Again, this is controversial as well, because some would say because of the additional cost, for example, from the 2018-2019 Trump tariffs on aluminum and steel, that actually the cost of goods like washing machines and dryers, for example, rose, so that indirectly we are paying a tax. But again, that's different. That's like a hidden tax, just like we would talk about inflation being a hidden tax. So how could tariffs be good or bad in this particular situation? Can they be good? They can be good. They can be bad moving forward. There's trade-offs to everything. So again, anytime somebody's saying it's just like this, it's wrong. There's two sides to every argument, and you have to weigh the benefits. Just like I got into a controversy with climate change earlier. Not really a controversy, but a little bit of a conversation on my X about climate change. And of course, I'm strongly in the camp that, yes, of course, climate change is real. It's happening. I could sit here and debate over exactly to what percentage is man-made. But the response to that is, it's popularly been, well, we need to get rid of fossil fuels. Okay, well, it's unclear on how getting rid of fossil fuels is going to change climate change. B, getting rid of fossil fuels gets rid of our cheapest, easiest accessible energy, which gives us a term nobody's using, which is climate mastery. So because of our access to very cheap energy, we've been able to reduce by like 95 to 99% the actual deaths from climate catastrophe, from climate events, right? Famine, disease, hurricane, all of these things used to kill so many people. But now that we have access to gasoline, diesel, and petrol, we can actually roll fire trucks. We can roll emergency response vehicles. We can do all of these things that save lives. And so getting rid of that, because listen, as a firefighter, there is no way we're replacing fleets of firefighting trucks, law enforcement, emergency management. It's not happening. Lithium ion is not rolling out our tactical response squad. It's not happening. Okay. So there's always a trade-off, right? And so I am definitely on the camp of, hey, I would like us to have as many eggs in our basket as possible, as many tools in our tool belt as possible, rather than just kind of sacrificing ourselves on the altar of, oh God, Mother Earth, Gaia, which I'm not. I worship a different God. I don't worship Mother Earth. So, and unfortunately, I just feel that's what a lot of it comes from. I feel it's kind of like this, oh, how dare Americans like scar the earth, like, we're given dominion over the earth. We're not here to. Anyways. Back to tariffs. All right, so we want to encourage local job creation and manufacturing, potential good effect of tariffs. We want to reduce dependence on geopolitical rivals like China. Obviously, Trump is showing that it's a great bargaining tool in trade negotiations. So those are the potential upsides for these tariffs that we're talking about right now. Potential downsides, obviously, those costs can be passed on to the consumer. But something interesting that I heard that I was listening to this morning is that we have to kind of take that into it. We have to take the current market environment into account with regards to these tariffs and this fear of prices rising. We're not really in an environment where consumers are going to be okay with businesses raising prices. And we already know that the profit margins on these corporations are very large for the most part. So basically, the idea that's going around right now is that honestly, a lot of these corporations are not really going to be able to significantly raise prices just because of the climate that we're in right now. Like, people are super on prices and they're just going to take a cut in their margins. Obviously, that's not a great thing, right? But for the average American consumer, it is a little bit of a comfort to know, like, hey, okay, like, they're a little bit worried that we're just going to start, nailing people to the walls. But higher costs for businesses and consumers, or obviously what I just talked about, kind of the spillover effect of hurting profit margins for corporations. Obviously, we could get retaliatory tariffs those can hurt U.S. exporters. We could get supply chain disruptions if foreign suppliers are critical. And so coming back, how is this going to impact the markets? Obviously, it's impacted the markets tremendously in the term of short-term volatility. Markets always tend to react quite negatively when new tariffs are announced due to uncertainty. Remember, the market and bull markets, they like one thing and one thing only: security and stability. They don't like unknowns. They don't like uncertainty. That will make the market puke faster than everything. But it's usually in those moments of uncertainty where lots of opportunity arises. This idea of buying blood in the streets. For the first time, by the way, the crypto greed and fear index is in fear. All right, we're in fear now. We haven't been there for a long time. So buy when there's blood in the streets. With regards to tariffs, there also could be sector-specific winners and losers. All right, so U.S. manufacturers like steelmakers, for example, they might benefit directly, while companies reliant on imports like tech and retail, they may suffer. And obviously, we have to be concerned about inflationary pressures. If companies pass higher costs to consumers, inflation rises, which can lead to Fed rate hikes. I don't really think that's too much of a concern, again, because I don't think we're in an environment where those corporations are going to be able to broadly pass along those higher costs without causing, like, riots, you know what I mean, in the streets because of the current political climate and social climate. So I think they're just going to take these profit margin hits. And again, as I've been saying, the danger that we're in is not inflation returning, although we'll see what Q1 is like. We might see a slight resurgence because of all this like uncertainty. But the big concern that Trump needs to navigate for the next couple of years is deflation and a recession. That's what we need to worry about. Obviously, there's going to be an impact on global trade. Countries that rely on exporting to the United States might see economic slowdowns. This is going to affect international markets. But the bottom line when it comes to tariffs is that, again, like all things, they are a very powerful tool. They have been used before in American history to great effect. They've also had negative effects depending on the situation. Like all things, they're a powerful tool, but they have trade-offs. They can help domestic industry, but they can also lead to higher prices. They can lead to economic retaliation. They can lead to global market disruptions. And so everything into account. Personally, my 2 cents with the current situation, I think obviously we've seen kind of we've seen Trump use these as a negotiating tactic currently right now. Unclear how it's going to shake out with China and Canada. Obviously, we understand that as of this morning, the news is that the Mexican tariffs are going to be suspended for a month, because Mexico has rallied and sent 10,000 National Guard troops to its northern border to assist with kind of stopping the distribution of fentanyl in the United States, which is good. That's a good thing. All right. But listen, I would rather, I'm just my 2 cents, right? I would rather pay higher prices in the form of import tariffs than, and I would love to get rid of the Internal Revenue Service. The stress, the pain, the fear, it's just, get rid of it. It's fine. I know that that's not popular. I know that all of economics over the last 100 years seems to go that, but guys, it is what it is. If you guys think that economics is a hard science, it's a lot of guesswork. All right, with that out of the way, shout outs to my early chatters. We're going to check out the chat here in a little bit. Again, Peck and Profit Bear. We've got M3TZ, Robin Waldvogel, excuse me, Crypto Rick, Eth1, and Dan in the house, guys. All right, I could afford the higher price without the IRS. God bless America. Consumption tax, whatever, I'm all for it. Anything but the IRS, please. Call it a regressive tax. I don't care. All right, let's get into it. Good to see you all. All right. Big picture. Where is with all this volatility, guys? Where is Bitcoin at in its overall cycle? Well, guess what? It's still right there, guys. Listen. Breaking news flash. Bitcoin. Let's get the music on. Sorry. Bitcoin crashes to prices not seen since 3 weeks ago. Unbelievable, right? Unbelievable. And we're not even in the bear yet. Like, we're still in the range. What is going on? $10 billion in liquidations. 10 billion. That's Billy with a B, ladies and gentlemen. 50% of the range. We've got about 288% potential max upside left in this cycle. And we've got about negative 48% until we reach, let's say, our logarithmic level of support. Which, once we get closer to that area of the cycle, once it's kind of confirmed that we're in a bear market, and we're going to slide down, we'll obviously talk about where are we going to be scooping in. And just so you guys know, that is my personal strategy. When the market starts moving down, I will allocate completely into cash. And then basically, so what I do, this is just me personally, right? Like, I set aside, right now, I set aside cash every single month. And it goes into a high yield savings account, and there are periods in the market when then I just lump sum that into the markets. All right. I've done it with different things. Some years, sometimes I've done it in Bitcoin. Some years I've done it in other cryptocurrencies. Sometimes I've done it all into the SPY, IVV. Sometimes I've done it into gold. But right now, I'll just let you guys know clearly, like, what I'm doing. And I'm not perfect. I'm going to make mistakes. But since December, I'm no longer putting that money directly into the market. It's all going into cash, sitting in the high yield savings account for a dip buy opportunity. I don't necessarily think that we've topped. I've been very clear about this, but I also understand that I can't predict the market. And so I want that cash sitting on the sidelines, because when Bitcoin drops below its 200 weekly SMA, that money is just all going to go into Bitcoin. And I'm just going to rinse and repeat, man. Let's see here. All right. Oh man, sorry guys. Wow. You didn't see that. You did not see that. That was the most disgusting thing I've done in my life. Trying to clear my throat. All right. Exactly, Profit Bear. See what? What are you talking about, man? 50% of the way through the cycle. MVRV is also nowhere near its peak that we've seen in previous bull market cycles. So if we do descend into the bear from here, it would be the first, all right? Also our first double top ever in MVRV. 24-hour volatility ratio relative to 7-day is extremely high. This is a good time to be closing out positions or entering usually contrarian positions. All right. Bitcoin dominance has absolutely, like, look at this, guys. Oh man, screw your altcoins, man. You know what I mean? Just take your altcoins and just shove them. This is the chart of Bitcoin dominance. Just absolutely dominant. No, trust me, M3TZ. I have a long history of debauched degeneracy that I'm now reformed from, redeemed, if you will. Repentant, even. Anyways, current BTC dominance currently at 61.42%. Massive wick to the upside. Okay, we are, of course, coming off of a reversal in Bitcoin dominance just a couple of days ago that got absolutely slapped in the face. So obviously that did not have a significant follow through. So the only thing we can really speculate about right now is, of course, the volume, the size, and of course, we correlate that with volatility. Again, there is quite a bit of thinking about reversals here. Stablecoin dominance absolutely blasted above 6%, as I warned about. And as soon as we did this, we jumped exactly to the 200 SMA. This is what I was worried about. But now that we've hit the 200 SMA again, right? We're going to see what happens over the next couple of days. It's completely fine. Treacherous market. You know, if you're going to take some plays, take some picks. I took a couple. I bought some graphene. But you know what I mean? Like, it's fine to like sit on the sidelines and wait until a signal arises. If you guys don't have a system that trades reversals, then like just wait until you get a good trend following signal. Like we were like, I understand that I don't get everything right, but literally this is the reversal system. But let's go to our PTP system. Okay, this is Bitcoin on the daily. Like I literally I'm like, hey, bearish trend. We've been in a bearish trend since here. All right, and then we got what did we get? We got a signal here. Sorry, short signal here. We got a short signal here, and then we got another short signal here. Okay, like literally spoon fed. All right, and all of those are trend following signals. Okay, all of those are trend following signals. Unfortunately, we're really not bullish until back above 108. So if you're trading reversals here, that's all well and good. Just, you know, be good at it. All right. So I save money over time to lump sum directly if Bitcoin drops below the 200, not the 200 daily SMA, the 200 weekly SMA, which occurs approximately every 2 years. Yeah. It's just listen, guys, it's not sexy, man. It's just long-term thinking. It's just years of listening to Dave Ramsey. I like, honestly, guys, like emergency fund, right? High yield savings account. And then I'm committed to like retiring early. So I trade my retirement account through a self-directed Roth IRA. A lot of covered calls and honestly Lynn leaps and things that aren't super sexy, but we can get into that if you want to. And then yeah, I, instead of like going out and partying and going on big vacations and all this kind of stuff, like I basically just like take as much money as I can. Like I try to save anywhere from 40 to 50% of my income per month. And then that either goes directly into the markets if I think we're pretty low, or it goes into cash to sit and wait until I think we're pretty low. So, and I've got some specific triggers that I utilize. Being below the 200 weekly SMA is one of those triggers, but there's a couple on-chain things that I look at too. But I mean, that's basically it. You got your strategy doesn't need to be super complex. It can be extremely basic, but if you're just consistent and you can commit to things like 2 to 3 year strategies, you can really outperform everybody else who literally only jumps into crypto at the top, loses money, and then you know screws off for like 2 years until Bitcoin's back at the top, and then they jump in and they lose more money. That's 90% of the people in the market. So if you can actually just think a couple of years ahead and develop a game plan for like, okay, right, like I started buying BTC in 2016. I started buying BTC in 2016, and I, of course, like sold some BTC and hedged it. My strategy, if you would have talked to me back in 2018, was to not sell my Bitcoin, and I just used coin margin contracts at 3x leverage with 1/3 of my stack on the exchange to hedge my account when I felt that we were getting bearish and when I got weekly short signals. So that's what I've previously done. Now, since post the 2021 cycle, and now of course in the 23-24 cycle, yes, but to be fair, like, I will kind of rotate back and forth relatively quickly. We haven't gotten any weekly sell signals yet, so honestly, and this might shock you to hear, but that decision for me won't really be made until we're trending bearish on the weekly, which is like prices below 70,000. But that's all well and good, because like, just go look at where my entry would have been at the end of 2022. You know what I mean? You can roll back the Discord, right, to the end of 2022, early 2023, when I'm like, guys, time to go, time to get into Bitcoin. You know what I mean? It just is what it is. So yeah, I try not to call tops, right? I try not to call tops because that's speculative, especially macro tops. It just follow the trend, man. Just follow the trend. Even, you know, Bitcoin below the 20 weekly MA, even Bitcoin below the 10 weekly MA, but Bitcoin below the 10 weekly MA, we usually get an immediate bounce back for a double top. Again, we only have 6 historical accounts of that, but it is what it is. But basically, yes, the answer is basically yes, but not in the way that you worded the question. Not when I think we're topped out, when my strategy tells me that we're trending to the downside. So no, I don't sell the top. To be fair, I did sell 50% of all my altcoins on December 5th this year, which turned out to be a pretty good move. But that was kind of a unique situation, and I wouldn't say the norm that I've done over the last 10 years. All right, anyways, guys, BTC. We do have a decent reversal signal here. I do want to get through the, why am I even on the charts? I want to go through the macro yet. So basically, yes, all we have here is a natural volume, regular bearish divergence and stablecoin dominance on the daily time frame, and so far a very sharp rejection from the 200 daily SMA. All right, so definitely a lot of buy the dip signals here, a lot of buy the dip triggers here. This is Bitcoin plus stablecoin dominance. We are, of course, getting regular bearish divergence on this as well. So for the altcoin bullahs out there, there are some good things going on. We have somewhat of a decent reversal signal here. Obviously, the last, like, quote unquote reversal signal got absolutely trounced, as have the last two. The last two have gotten trounced. We did get a little bit of bounce, at least on this one, and we did get a little bit of a bounce on this one, but really not anything. Rejection from the midline of the Bollinger Bands, and then dissension. But now we have a very strong looking reversal candle, volume above the moving average. We have regular bullish divergence, and we've got extreme oversold conditions on the lower PPO. So, you know, if there was going to be a time to buy the dip, it's probably now, right? But take that with a grain of salt, guys. Take that with a grain of salt. Understand that that's not a great strategy in and of itself, and you should have a reversal system and back test it and understand its success rate. Anywho, all right, so that's the macro. We got stablecoin dominance potentially topped out. We got Bitcoin dominance potentially topped out. We got volatility maxed out. We're still at the 50% of the range. Bitcoin crashing to prices not seen since 3 weeks ago. Altcoins absolutely hammered. Bitcoin and stablecoin dominance. So that's the skibby to do. Big bounces back on the assets that I'm actively watching. Obviously, STX just absolutely hammered. Graphane bouncing back very strong. I bought a bag. Solana bouncing back very strong off its 200 daily SMA. Extreme, like, massive volume on Sonic. So don't sleep on Sonic, guys. There's more TVL going to Sonic than anything else. I think it's going to be a big winner. I could be wrong. I'm usually wrong. Trump absolutely decimated. Hyperliquid absolutely holding the range and actually a higher low. If you want strength, I don't know, like Hyperliquid. XRP, complete devastation. But, you know, again, bouncing back pretty strong and really only going a little bit below like $2 support. So, like, really not honestly that crazy. Bitcoin is holding up relatively well. Peckham says, what I have seen is that when it crashes like it does, it needs a second backtest wick. So we have yet another 40% dip on altcoins. I think you might be right. The second the large player, all right, like, we'll go up for like maybe a day or two and that's right down again. I think you are likely right. All right, so let's go through. Prophet Bear says Jesus seems like a higher low. We're actually going to take a look at Jesus here in a little bit. So we're going to start off, obviously, with our trend following system, see if we see anything today. As I said, nobody wants to hear it, right? And I don't like to see this shit when I'm instinctually bullish. Like, I want price to go up, and then I see my system give like a short signal, like again, a short signal here on this daily candle, or a continuation short signal, right? Obviously, this one got trounced. We might have hit TP1 on this. Depends on what the volatility was. And we might have hit TP1 here. But when I see, right, our continuation short signal here, which I know hit TP1, and when I see a continuation short signal here, which I know hit TP2 and 3, and then when we see one here, which I know hit TP2, you know, it's really hard to like not have an eye. It's really hard to not have an eye for these trades. It really is, when, you know, you've only got eyes for this. But guys, sometimes she just doesn't have eyes for you, bro. And it is what it is. And you just got to accept that and move on. Oh, it was a little bit personal. Jesus does appear to be holding its value. Yeah, not a massive crash. I mean, it's hard for it to go any lower. You know what I'm saying? I'm just, with all due respect, man. Like, all due respect. Oh, be casting out demons if we go any lower, bro. I'm not lying. Okay, so anyways, what do we have right now? We do have a daily short signal. We'll see, right? We're going to see how this one plays out. So if Peckham's right, then maybe this is, you know, again, shorting on the bounce back, right? And then we get that backfill wick. There is this idea that I quite like, and this is avoiding diddling in the middle, right? So whenever you see like a very large candle, right? You know, taking action down here can usually pay off very well if there's a strong bounce back like this wick, right? All good. And then above here, okay, right? So let's say like above here, this is like, okay, we're like in breakout recovery range, right? Where we're like trading back to the range. So like all those are like kind of good setups, but like anything in between, so basically like this zone right here, we call that diddling in the middle. And it's just not really good because, you know, if you're longing, it means you're a late longer. Like you wanted to long down here, but you're longing up here. So that means all these people here in profit are going to dump on you potentially. And you don't really have the confirmation of like strong breakout signals that you would have up here, right? So again, it can be tough. Guys, I understand. Like if you're not making money and you're like thirsty to make money and all this kind of stuff, right? You know, to be like, oh, now's my time. Like, I got to react. I got to act. I got to do all these. Like, you don't, man. Like, you can just wait calmly and patiently for the right signal, and you can build a strategy. And if you don't have a strategy, you should go start building one right now. All right, so that's Bitcoin right now for our PTP system. We don't really have anything. Of course, we are coming off. Basically, the only thing we're coming off of is strong continuation short signals and great profits, honestly. Just trading in the direction of the trend, which is unfortunately bearish at this point in time. And invalidation on that bearish trend above 108. So we'll come back and we'll scan with our reversal system here in a little bit. Obviously, Solana broke down. We had a reversal baseline bounce setup that may or may not have hit TP1. I don't know. I'd have to go back and check, and I'm not really interested in doing that. But we have a breakdown below. Oh, and where is? Do we have a crossover? We don't really have. There wasn't really a good Solana short signal. I'm running the 21 system on Minx. I'm sure if we were running the default, it would have given you a short signal here or here, which is fine. But the issue with it, there's no really issue with it. It's just you're going to have more. You'll have more false positives, which I like less false positives. Ethereum, obviously, has been clearly bearish since January 7th. We got our first short signal on January 9th, which would have hit TP1, maybe TP2. And then continuation short signal here, continuation short signal here, continuation short signal here, really allowing you to be like basically full tilt bore short on that previous one. Massive volume candles. So again, lots of good reasons to just close out and wait for a bounce back here. XRP, again, we didn't get a short signal using the insensitive system. Maybe you took a short just on the close below the baseline. If you're running the insensitive system, I'm sure you would have gotten a short signal here. We are actually getting a short signal on today's daily close. Discretionarily, I would like to see, you know, again, it's probably the right trade to make. We'll see if we get a double wick now. Something feels very dirty though about like shorting the bottom, right? I'll be honest with you. But there's a difference between like shorting down here and like shorting up here, to be quite fair. Let's see. SUI has also been pretty bearish on the daily. We got our initial short signal back over here on January 21st, and we actually got another continuation short signal yesterday. So good stuff from the Ming system. Athena got our initial short signal on January 10th, and then another continuation signal on January 19th, and another continuation signal yesterday. So Ohm is the only thing that I'm watching right now that is pamping. All right, back up. So far lower high, but this has been a nice bounce back, very strong bounce back for Ohm. Pepe Le Frog, let's see here, has been bearish since here, bounce back, and then another short signal here and down, nothing. Mansell is bouncing back pretty strongly today. We'll reevaluate bias above like 129. Deep, really no opinions. This was kind of like a low cap buy and hold, but it seems like we're entering into a very different market area here. Ondo Finance, again, rejected from the breakout point of about 162, 163. Relatively strong buyback now, and we actually got a continuation short signal on yesterday's candle, but no follow. But again, maybe hitting TP1 so far. Potential short signal on Radium on today's daily close. Let's see here. Jito, we've been bearish since December 18th, unable to break above resistance at $3.40. Hedera hash graph, we got a short signal on January 29th. Probably hitting, based on this volatility, probably hitting all three TPs on this movement to the downside. Aave has been bearish, and we got our initial short signal. Probably got smacked on that one, honestly, but we got a nice continuation short signal yesterday, so able to take advantage of today's wick. Phantom, now S, has been bearish since December 22nd. Multiple continuation short signals. Hyperliquid is not quite bearish yet. We don't have a continuation signal yet, and I would like to see a breakout above 27. Pengu just descending into the bowels of El Diablo here. Grass descending into the bowels of El Diablo here. Morpho, I think the run's kind of over. We might get a little bounce back. Link is, we got our first short signal on yesterday's daily close, so we'll see how that plays out. And then AI agent sectors, I've been obviously quite bearish here for a minute. We don't have a ton, obviously, but Tensor Tau is probably the best one. We've been short since December 16th, and multiple continuation short signals throughout the road. Same as Render, same as Fetch AI, AI16Z, and Graphane. Graphane's the only one I took a play on, but I have some fundamental reasons for that. Cookie Vader, yes, no error, SNAI, and NOR all kind of bouncing back. Usual after that nice pop that we had a couple of days ago, just absolutely decimated. Back down at the lows. And Jesus. Of course, Jesus, unfortunately, has been in a bearish trend since November 20th. We've had multiple continuation signals throughout there. But again, look at the decrease in volatility. We are starting to sell off much, much lower. I'm going to speak nothing but positively about this. And we are basically just descending, deviating a little bit below previous support. Kind of next area of support is down. What do we got? What is our next area of support here? Historical support. It's about 20% down. And that would be sweeping the previous levels of support, right? So this level right here. So we shall see. Now I'll give you all some hopium. Let's look through the reversal system. Reversal system on Bitcoin. All right. Not a strong one, but we do have a strong volume surge, 226% greater than yesterday's previous daily volume prints. We're not quite oversold on our daily momentum oscillator, nor our confirmation indicator. We did deviate below the lower boundary of the Bollinger Band. So potentially, a short-term trade up to 102, 103 might be on the table for a rejection from the mid-range of the Bollinger Bands, obviously just being very conservative. Solana, same deviation below the lower boundary of the Bollinger Bands. Bollinger Band basis is up here at about 233.50. Time transformation is almost oversold. Confirmation is not oversold. Volume is 127.9% greater than previous. So again, maybe come up here to test the Bollinger Band mid-range at 234. Ethereum, obviously massive, 313% of the previous volume candle, 1.7 billion USD just on the Coinbase chart. We are mildly oversold on the daily time frame and not really oversold as far as our momentum oscillator is going. So again, kind of a risky trade, but quite a cheap, quite low. Bollinger Band mid-range is around 320. 3220, excuse me. XRP, again, we're not actually quite oversold on the daily, nor on a confirmation. We did deviate below the lower boundary of the Bollinger Band, and volatility is contracting, so maybe we get a pop back up to 305, but nothing super so far greatness. SUI is oversold on the daily, massive volume candle, deviation below the lower Bollinger Band, and potential target of $4.20. Athena, also extremely oversold, recovery from our momentum oscillator and regular bullish divergence with massive volume, potential target of 80 cents. Ohm, nothing to talk about. Pepe Le Frog, regular bullish divergence on the daily time frame. Obviously, I'm monitoring on Coinbase, so I don't really have enough historical data, and a nice volume spike and deviation below the Bollinger Band, potential target of 1477. Mantle, really nothing to say. Deep, deviation below the Bollinger Band, but we've already tapped the basis. Ondo Finance, deviation below the Bollinger Band, but we've already tapped the basis. And look at the volatility compression. So just again, kind of looking for breakout above 152 maybe. Radium, again, not quite oversold. Good volume, deviation, potential target of $6.87. JTO, not oversold, decent volume, pretty low though, I'm not gonna lie, less than yesterday's volume. Already deviated, but basically we're already here at the basis, so not a lot of alpha there. Hedera hash graph, not looking bad, good volume, not quite oversold, regular bullish divergence, potential target of 32 cents. Aave, very good volume, regular bullish divergence, very oversold, potential target of 315. Phantom, previously S, regular bullish divergence, quite oversold, potential target of 57 cents. Hype, look at that volatility compression, mainly looking for a breakout above 26, 27. Pengu, no. Grass, good reversal, like strong reversal signal coming in today. Wish the volume is a little bit better, potential target of 196. Morpho, deviation, volume's pretty low, not really oversold, not much to look at here. Chainlink, really good volume, not really oversold, but a little bit of bullish divergence, not really oversold though. Potential target of $24. AIXBT, strong reversal signal coming in. The last one got clapped though, so potential target of 59 cents. Virtuals, regular bullish divergence, potential target of $2.42. BitTensor Tau, very good volume, potential target of 422. Render AI, basically same thing. So basically, like, listen, guys, a lot of potential reversal signals that we're seeing in the AI agent sector here today. Obviously, take and pick your chooses. Obviously, SNAI put in a nice reversal signal yesterday, and now it is up, what, like 156%. Noor put in a nice reversal signal yesterday, is up 66%. Usuals is not doing anything. Jesus, we do have a little bit of regular bullish divergence from our previous buy signal here, down a little bit, a little bit of a deviation below the Bollinger Band, and mildly oversold on the daily time frame. So potential target of, again, it sucks to like read these things out because I have it in WETH, but 6227088, basically previous highs. So not very many trending signals today, guys. There are some potential contrarian short signals coming out on the daily time frame, but mostly across the board, we're seeing, kind of BTFD opportunities for reversals. So obviously set your stop losses. If you're going to take some positions, try not to have more than 10% risk on, across the market, and it do what it do. All right. Good stuff, ladies and gentlemen. Now we are going to, and do some day trading for the rest of the session. But first, I've been live for a little over 1 hour. John, thank you for coming in. So I am just going to go run and grab some water. I'll be gone for like 30, 45 seconds. Don't go anywhere or else. Okie dokie. We're back. It's like we never even left. Peckham says, given the buying came in at 1400, excuse me, on the nose of Wall Street open, we can expect them to sell this massive pump at 2045 UK time, 15 minutes before close. Coming shortly. About an hour and a half. Oh, about an hour and 15 minutes. All right, so let's go to our sex screener. And give me 1 second here, guys. Boop. Let me get logged in on the bids. Let's do... Just make sure I'm here. Make sure you guys subscribe to the Crypto Alpha Report for absolutely free. Okay, and here we go. All right. We are ready to go. All right, and we're going to make this Bybit. And we want to sort by the biggest volume change, which is mask USDT.P. All right. See if we can spot any trades. Bad trade, bad trade, bad trade, good trade. All right, nothing. What's next? MNT. Nothing. Might be getting a long signal on ACT. What about SUI? No. Nothing there. Nothing on Ohm. Nothing on ordinals yet. One to watch. CTC. Nope. Athena. Nope. Ondo Finance. Nope. Arrow. Nope. Radium. Nope. Toshi. All right. Okay, apparently we can't trade Toshi on ByteFi. That is just fine. My heart's been broken before. There we go. Mask. Okay. Close positive. We'll try. Oh, whoops. That was completely the wrong asset, wasn't it? ACT. All right, let's cut our losses. That's not what we want to be in. Okay, can't even trade ACT. All right, never mind. Let's take that one off the watch list. Ordinals. No, we can trade ordinals. Okay. Set a hard TP. Stop loss on a close above the baseline. And we're in. About here. And just checking in validation. That all looks good. Please take a look at Moxie. Please confirm if this is the coin you want me to be looking at. Moxie USDT on Tether. No confirmation from me yet, Timmy. Is this the one you want me to be looking at? Yes, that is the one. Okay. Relatively new coin, so I don't have any baseline analysis for you. What I will tell you is that these wicks are a little scary, so obviously strong selling pressure coming in. Daily momentum oscillator is on the verge of crossing to the downside. Tar momentum is starting to die down. Doesn't mean that the run is over, especially on something relatively low cap like this. Did have a very strong bounce back. And moving quite contrarily to the rest of the market, to be quite honest with you. I don't have, let's just slap on a 20 period baseline. Let's see how signals have played out. Long signal here. That one was good. Short signal here. That one was break even. And then again, that one was decent. Let's see here. Long signal here got clapped. Break even. Long signal here had 2 days of upside. Short signal here was good. You got to catch all that. And then long signal here was very, very, very good. So system would have called with a 20 period baseline, would have called for a long right here on this candle. And you would be up about 100%. Max run up of about 211% at the very tip of the tippity tip. And yeah, I don't really see a good entry here. There's not a take profit signal yet from the system, but on the verge of it. Reversal system. On the reversal system, we are quite overbought. Unnatural volume yesterday, almost, or not yesterday, but on this candle, almost hitting the 3.7 standard deviation max. Lowered volume over the last 3 days. And typically the way this would work is if price then closed back within the lower boundary of the Bollinger Band, so a close below 2711, we would close that out also. So no real signals, man. No real opinion. Nice pop. If you're up about 100%, I'd probably take off some profit, let the rest run. And if we close back down below 2711 and this really peters out, I'd probably be out. So we did get a confirmed short signal here about 2 minutes ago on ordinals. Price still approximately a break even. Getting a little bit of a down move. Guys, in 30 minutes, we are going to be giving away 1 billion Jesus coin. Do not go anywhere for that. For my American and Canadian watchers, if you need a good exchange to trade on, demo trading, KYC, VPN free, 200x leverage, 600 pairs and more, definitely check out that link for BuyDFi down below. Get that VIP level 1. For my non-Americans, Bybit link down below. All fee advantaged accounts. All right, come on, ordinals. Let's break down a little bit more. The market taketh and giveth. Bitcoin climbing on the 5-minute time frame. Coming up to the 30-minute 200 SMA, coming up to the 1 hour 200 SMA, coming up to the trend lines, to the trend guppies on the 4 hour. Bounce off the daily. Bottom wedge structure right there. Did not close the weekly below the 10 weekly MA. Pretty critical. Will be the marble race to end all marble races. Preparing to reverse. And we'll see what happens here in 30 seconds. Oh, I still have coffee. Wow. But it's kind of cold. All right. So try this, see if we get chopped up. Looks like we're gonna get chopped up. The most brutal 10 minutes of trading of my adult life. See, whoa. I don't even know what that is. CZK. But G, thank you so much for the 50 of that. Do I think Bitcoin dominance has topped for this cycle? To be honest with you, I really don't know. I think a lot of traders put a lot of stock in that, and we'll take a look at it once we close this trade out here in shame, depression, and misery here in a few moments. Oh, you know what it is? Oh, no, we're good. There's the correct baseline. I thought we had, I thought for a second maybe we had the incorrect baseline settings. Yeah, reversal strategy on this would have been a lot better. Or angling. I was angling for a movement like this or like this. Either would have been good. But whipsaw in the afternoon volatility. Nothing wrong with it. We do need to wait for this candle to close though, because I want a nice clean open and close below the baseline for invalidation. Hard stops in this case would have probably saved quite a bit of money. But I don't like 1 minute hard stops. I like invalidation when my strategy is ill suited to the current market environments, which is fine. All right. All right, let's reevaluate. All right, Bitcoin dominance. Let's take a break from that for a second. Do I think it's topped for this cycle? All right, so in 2019, it topped at 72.79%. At the current cycle, we're going to say it maybe topped at 64%. I don't know, right? Because honestly, the idea, so just my personal opinion, right? We have seen a complete decoupling of crypto and Bitcoin this cycle. And obviously, the Bitcoin maxis are going absolutely insane and saying that, well, of course this was always going to happen. And this has been my long-term theory. This is why I've only ever stacked sats, for example, and I've always traded altcoins as short-term opportunities. And primarily, one of the best ways I like to get involved with altcoins is pre-sales or early sales, but not in the spray and pray way, not in the venture capitalist way. So that's been relatively decent for me. I've done it maybe 7 times. Most of those have been winners. I've only had 2 losers. And those losers just went to 0. Well, I mean, technically, right? I'm still holding them, but they're effectively 0. Always will be. So if we want to make like the fundamental value proposition or assume that like, no, in reality, this likely will not continue and that we'll only see oscillations between Bitcoin dominance and altcoin dominance, I will say, if we look at kind of the contrary to Bitcoin dominance, which is others or price performance relative to Bitcoin, which is a metric that I like to use, right? Our reversal signals have been working out pretty well, but the last sizable bounce that we got was back prior to Christmas on December 20th, when we did actually get a 2-week bounce and went all the way up to the top of the range. This one, the subsequent, we only got 1, 2, 3, maybe 4 days of upside, and that 4th day was an alley-oop. And then the last one, we only got literally 2 days of upside, but the last one being an alley-oop. So we're not actually getting that same signal here. Maybe a little bit of regular bullish divergence, which might be good. And so I never want to be a bear near the bottoms, but it's really hard to be kind of across the board super bullish on altcoins right now. Not gonna lie. If you want a good trigger for when Bitcoin dominance tops, and you get explosive movements in altcoins, I mean, it seems to be closing below the 50 exponential moving average, right? Did it once here, had a strong bounce back, and then it did it here, and it led to a very strong cycle. So you can either try and trade the reversal, and like you had good reversal pivots here because obviously you are hitting the 200 weekly SMA. But here, obviously you got the sell signal here, but you were wrong for about a month. Then you got regular bearish divergence here. Okay, great. Something kind of similar here where we did get the sell signal here, which did lead to a month of upside for altcoins. And now we are getting again a little bit of regular bearish divergence. Peckham says, if I had to view on altcoins what happened yesterday, it removed all the desire to buy for the fun. Alas, CZ probably cost Binance 100,000 new customers, but he makes profit, I guess. Man, my phone is going crazy right now. Oh, my connection's going in and out? That's weird. That usually doesn't happen. Let's take a look and see what my thing is saying. OBS says my connection is really good. YouTube says my connection is excellent. Yeah, I don't know what to tell you guys. Everything looks pretty good. Maybe we just went through a little buffering period there. Little hiccup. Ladies and gentlemen, in 15 minutes, we're going to be giving away 1 billion Jesus coin. The marbles are ready to go. The marbles are ready to go. Okay. Okay. So I guess only everybody located in the US had a hiccup. Yeah, it's just the NSA tapping in. Seems like everybody watching in the UK because they're, you know, they're just constantly tapped in. No need to hard connect. Crypto Caveman, good to see you're still alive, man. If you are still alive here in the trenches, you're doing well. All right, let's see here. Ordinal's probably best shot so far that we're seeing. If we dare to enter the Ordinal's trenches again. It's already taken so much from us. Good stuff, Robin. Just looking for signals, man, with the vol strategy. We're just kind of having fun. At 1 minute till the 5-minute close. Let's see what happens here. All right. Anything new popping on X? New Jersey Governor Murphy houses immigrant challenges ICE. Trump tariffs and Mexican beer, Schumer's controversial claim. Coinbase users report scam losses amid account restrictions. What's this? Recent social media reports highlight significant concern among Coinbase users regarding account restrictions and substantial financial losses to social engineering scams. Users report being defrauded through methods like phishing, leading to considerable amounts lost, with some claims suggesting figures in the tens of millions over recent months. Coinbase has acknowledged the issue with community notes indicating that account restrictions have indeed occurred, though the exact figures and timelines remain speculative. See what Zach XBT has to say. Over the past few months, I imagine you have seen many Coinbase users complain on X about their accounts suddenly being restricted. This is the result of aggressive risk models and Coinbase's failure to stop its users from losing $300 million plus per year to social engineering scams. Spent time reviewing Coinbase withdrawals and gathering data for high confidence thefts on various chains. Below is a table which we created, which shows $65 million stolen from Coinbase users from December 2024 to January 2025. Our number is likely much lower than the actual amount stolen, as our data was limited to my DMs and thefts we discovered on chain, which does not account for Coinbase support tickets and police reports we do not have access to. All right, let's walk through how these Coinbase social engineering scams work. Victim reached out to me last month after losing $850,000. Graphing out this theft led to a consolidation address with 25 plus other victims tied to Coinbase-hold.eth. This is the contract address for the thief. Scammer calls the victim from a spoofed phone number and used personal information obtained from private databases to gain their trust. After they told the victim their account had multiple unauthorized login attempts. Coinbase will never call you. Yeah, guys, listen. Exchanges will never call you. Ever, ever, ever. Scammers clone the Coinbase site nearly they then send a spoofed email which appeared to be from Coinbase with a fake case ID, further gaining trust. They instructed the victim to transfer funds to a Coinbase wallet and whitelist an address while support verified their accounts. None of this stuff, man. You guys cannot fall. It's so bad, man. It's so bad with so many normies coming on that yeah. They're just not designed to understand the risks and dangers of these things, man. This is not how crypto works. You know, a lot of normal people coming in thinking like, oh, it's like, you know, the breaking news just in: Coinbase gets regulatory approval to launch Bitcoin and crypto services in the United Kingdom. And we're talking staking, baby. Woo. I think Bitcoin sees 186,000 before we see altcoins treble in prices. Good for you, Robin. Focus on quality. Mike STR1 says gold is up $2,821.26. We didn't even look at gold today. Global markets. Yeah, Zow's pumping. Silver's pumping. UNG gapped up. That's what I'm talking about, boys. Let's go. Oil's bleeding off. 73.16. IVV. Strong move up on IVV. 602.71. Strong move up in the Qs. Yeah, pretty big overreaction, I would say, with regards to the tariffs. Yeah, I mean, guys, moral of the story is centralized exchanges are never going to call you. They don't have enough people to try and call you. Trump signs order for U.S. sovereign wealth fund. All right, well, we got rugged on the strategic Bitcoin reserve, but we didn't get rugged on the U.S. sovereign wealth fund, ladies and gentlemen. Here we go. Why? Oh, hold on. Audio output capture, headphone output. Oh, I see why. Oh, okay. Hold on a second. There we go.
This is an executive order.
Sorry guys.
Scott Bessent and your Secretary of Commerce, Howard Lutnick, to begin a process that will hopefully result in the creation of an American sovereign wealth fund.
It's a very exciting event. We're going to have a sovereign wealth fund, which we've never
Thank
had.
you, Robin. Yes, please hit the like button, guys. Subscribe so you don't miss an episode.
Seeing that over the last 2 weeks, I think we've created more wealth. Other people have created de-wealth. The people, my predecessors, we're creating a lot of wealth. Scott, maybe you'd like to say something about it, and I'd ask also Howard to say something about it.
Yes, sir. This is very exciting. We're going to stand this thing up within the next 12 months. We're going to monetize the asset side of the U.S. balance sheet for the American people. We're going to put the assets to work, and I think it's going to be very exciting. We're going to study best practices that's done around the world. It'll be a combination of liquid assets, assets that we have in this country as we work to bring them out for the American people.
The extraordinary size and scale of the U.S. government and the business it does with companies should create value for American citizens. If we are going to buy 2 billion COVID vaccines, maybe we should have some warrants and some equity in these companies and have that grow for the help of the American people. So I bring all these things together. I think Scott and I will create an amazing sovereign wealth fund for you, sir.
So other countries have sovereign wealth funds, and they're much smaller countries, and they're not the United States. We have tremendous potential in this country, tremendous. You're seeing that. What's happened just in a short period of time. And as an example, TikTok.
Satoshi at the window, man.
Something perhaps with TikTok, and perhaps not. If we make the right deal, we'll do it. Otherwise, we won't. But I have the right to do that, and we might put that in the sovereign wealth fund, whatever we make, or if we do a partnership with very wealthy people, a lot of options, but we could put that as an example in the fund, and we have a lot of other things that we could put in the fund. And I think in a short period of time, we'd have one of the biggest funds. And some of them are pretty large, I must tell you. Some of like the Saudi Arabia fund is on the large side.
Bitcoin pamping.
But eventually we'll catch it. But we're going to create a lot of wealth for the fund. And I think it's about time that this country had a sovereign wealth fund. And these two gentlemen and some others are going to work with them very closely, and they'll be heading it up, and they're going to do a great job. Two highly respected people that have done unbelievably well in the world, in the real world. So that's a big deal, huh?
Yes, sir. I think it's going to create value.
It's a big deal. It's a big one.
Importance.
That's a big one. It's a big one, boys. All right, listen. We had a little bit of buffering there. I apologize, but you guys all can't. You guys know what you're here for. All right, it is time. It is time for the 1 billion Jesus giveaway, ladies and gentlemen. Let me just double check the inbox. Make sure that there are no new entries. No, not in the last 30 minutes since I last checked. All right, let's get this bad boy up and running. Okay. Here we go. All right. Let's get the audio going. Okay. All right. That'll work. All right, we got 49 individuals in for the race. The only thing I'm not clear about is I have yes to crypto in here, but I cannot remember if he has already won or not. Something is telling me that he did win. So I just want to double check that. Hold on. I just want to double check that real quick before we proceed with this. Because what I can do is, okay, bring this up. Give me 1 second, guys. Oh, we got the strobe light going on here, as always, towards the end of the show. Okay, transactions. Okay, we sent Jesus. We sent Jesus, and we sent Jesus. So let me just cross-reference that with Jesus. And where is yes to crypto? There it is. Okay. Okay. Okay, that was receiving it. I don't see a send to yes to crypto. So unless oh, he did win? Okay. I don't see it. But all right, then in that case, I am going to remove yes to crypto from the running. So now we're down to 48. 48 potential winners in today's giveaway. All right. Okay, let's get this going. How many? Sorry. 48. Okay, here we go. Get rid of the settings, and we are going to do... Let's do fuel survive. And let me just double check. There were 48. I know. Okay. 48. We're going to use bots. Let's play. Let's get this hype up, guys. Come on, get your hands in the air. Let's get some claps going on, dude. You guys know what you came for. Let's do this. All right. Excellent. Okay, we've got everybody here. We've got everybody here. All right. Forward, left, right, back, down. Okay. Okay, so that's how I can do it. All right, cool. And then what? Auto camera is like B. Okay. All right, so here we go. You guys know the rules. Okay. Look at this. Look at this trap of death. All right. All right, look at this. Only one will emerge victorious. Who's it going to be? Okay. Who is it going to be? We don't know. Hold on. How do I go up? Ooh. Okay. Only one can win, ladies and gentlemen. And let's go. And start your engines. All right. And we're off. Okay. Who's in the lead? Who is in the lead? It looks like Daniel Mercer is in the lead as we drive around the loop-de-loop. Here we go. Down. Miriam risky. Oh, hold on. Like big turnarounds here. Endry taking the lead. Endry taking the lead as we curve faster and faster. John Bang O in the lead. We just keep spinning. We just keep spinning. Oh, sorry. We already broke through. Shane B, clean lead, breaking away from the pack, descending through. Can he make it through? A little bit of, Kex pulls in the front. There's some, Tobias pulling ahead as we get into the lava pits of bouncing death. Don't get caught up here. It's okay. Tobias making a clean break, hop, pop, and scotch through. Oh, but smacked right in the face. That is going to cost him, folks. That is going to cost him as Shane again takes the lead in today's competition. Shane flying. I don't wonder why there's no music. I don't know. Shane B. Oh, Tobias completely out and decimated, ladies and gentlemen. Everybody is dying. Nope. Miriam, out. No, you didn't make it. No, you're dead. No, only few shall survive. Dead. Oh, nobody is making it. Oh, who will be lucky enough? No, death to Maxim too. Everybody is dying. I swear I didn't set it up like this. Come on, Tanner. No. Oh, but Leo lands safely in the pit. Leo M safely in the pit. Eth1, I don't think you are on here, my friend. I don't remember getting an email from you, but I'm going to double check right after this. I don't think you sent me an email. But ladies and gentlemen, I apologize for that. But Leo M, number one, decisive victory, ladies and gentlemen, in 1 minute and 34 seconds. Our final results, Leo M followed closely by Risky F and Noah W in third place. And they are the only three that finished the race. Everybody else died, giving the track few will survive its name. All right. Okay. Eth1, I am definitely going to put you in the drawing for the next one. I'm literally going to do it right now. But Leo M, congratulations. I'm going to send you an email right now. And I'm going to add Eth1 to the list right now. Okay. Dan, if you just go to my X, to my Twitter, my pinned tweet has all the instructions on how to enter. You have to like and repost Profit Bear's pinned tweet, not pinned tweet, but I linked the tweet right there. Subscribe to the Crypto Alpha Report, and then send me an email with your Ethereum address. And that's all you have to do. It takes about 5 minutes to do. All the instructions are on my X, and the link to my X is down below, or you can just follow me at cracking an egg _crypto. All right, ladies and gentlemen, congratulations to everybody who played. Great time. I'm going to go ahead and send, get these headphones off my ears. I'm going to go ahead and send Mr. Leo M's Jesus to him. Eth1, I do not see an email from you, so I'm assuming you used your real name, so maybe your real name is on there. Anyways, you're on there. It's all good. Okay. Let's go find L. Here it is. Here it is. Is this an Ethereum address? This does not look like an Ethereum address. That is not an Ethereum address. All right. All right, Leo, I sent you an email because you did not provide me with an Ethereum mainnet address. You provided me with what looks like, I don't know, not that. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, that's it for today. The bips, the bobs, the ups, the downs. Thank you so much for joining me. Hopefully we made some money today. 57 people watching me on X. Wow. Holy shnikes, guys. Thank you guys so much for all the love. If you guys enjoy this content, make sure to like and subscribe. Follow me on X. You can follow me and like on Rumble, YouTube, all of the same. We live stream every single day from those three platforms. Not every single day, but Monday through Friday at least. If you guys need anything, hop in the Discord. Our Discord is free. It is very warm and inviting. Lots of good people in there who can help you out with whatever you need, whether you're a trader, whether you're a speculator, whether you're an investor, whether you're a strategy creator, everything you could possibly find in there. Make sure to go sign up to BuyFi, get your VIP level 1 fee advantaged accounts to all my American and Canadian and other restricted country clients. And if you guys happen to be not in those areas, and if you guys would like to trade on Bybit, up to $4,400 in bonuses with the 5th link in the description down below. Subscribe to the Crypto Alpha Report, data-driven research delivered to your inbox to keep you armed and dangerous. Otherwise, we will see you guys tomorrow. Same crypto time, same crypto network. Trade safely, be excellent to one another. I just kicked my camera, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Cheers now.
Bye.